'Tis the season, the most wonderful time of the year, celebration with friends and family. It's time to pay tribute to this jolly month, so join us as we get into the Christmas spirit. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf, but this is Venom on the Shelf.
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for being like one of the only Christmas films left in the book. Do you know how hard it is? I've just been scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I finally found you. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do next year. I am really going to struggle. So honestly, sincerest thanks. You're awesome, by the way.
Okay, you made your point.
The Apartment stars Jack Lemmon as C.C. Baxter. He's an office worker who was pretty much taken advantage of as he's gotten into the unfortunate routine of letting his colleagues use his apartment to have sleazy affairs and cheat on their wives. Don't you hate when your colleagues do that?
The answer is no.
His place is treated like a hotel, which he continues to lend out to further his career as he's promised promotion after promotion. Soon he gains feelings for the elevator worker, Fran, played by Shirley MacLaine, until discovering she is one of the unfortunate women being used for sex by their douchebag boss in that very apartment. It's very much a love triangle with Baxter loving Fran and Fran loving Jeff, the boss, played by Fred McMurray. And also, it takes place at Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve, Fran.
See, Christmas. Christmas, look, there's Santa. See? Christmas. It counts. Christmas.
All right, that's wonderful.
There's a lot of emotional heartbreak, which I'll talk about later, but honestly, if you want to watch this movie, which I really hope you do, turn this review off right now because I'm about to release some spoilers, and I feel like your viewing experience will be slightly diminished if you know the ending. Basically, this was my genuine reactions to the ending of the film.
All right, sorry I took so long on the phone, but we're all set.
All set for what?
I rented a car. We'll be here at 1 o'clock. We're driving down to Atlantic City.
No, Fran! Why are you with Jeff? He doesn't love you. He's using you. Why? This is a horrible ending. I demand a sequel.
Fran?
Yes, Fran! You run to him, baby! You go get the man you deserve! No! Baxter, you can't do that!
Oh, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Oh, thank God! Oh, they're together! It's such a beautiful film! It really is. And honestly, such an emotional roller coaster towards the end.
Well, that's very nice of you.
This is actually the second time the film completely tricks our asses. Earlier on, Fran is recovering from a suicide attempt and Baxter goes out to the shop and trusts her to be alone. There's intense music building up to something and you expect the worst. Baxter comes back, smells gas, but she just forgot to light the stove. It's brilliant storytelling and it's so intense. Anyway, not long after Some Like It Hot was released, Billy Wilder instantly wanted to make another movie with Jack Lemmon, beginning to work on this and wanting Paul Douglas as Jeff, but he unfortunately passed away before production began. He was literally having breakfast before going to fly out to film when he sadly had a heart attack and died.
That's a shame.
Lou Jacoby was approached to play the neighbour Dr. Dreyfus, but he was involved in a Broadway play at the time and they refused to let him do it. But who cares? Jack Crucian was given an Oscar nomination, so it was for the best. The film was inspired by Brief Counter, however, due to the Hays production code causing censorship issues, Wilder wasn't allowed to make a film about adultery earlier, postponing the entire project. The director usually insisted on his actors sticking to the script, but he did allow Jack Lemmon to improvise, and also, this was a real punch that he was supposed to dodge, but it was kept in. Wilder compared Lemmon to Charlie Chaplin, where he could pretty much do no wrong. Weirdly though, he got really frustrated whenever Shirley MacLaine tried to ad-lib. He made her do some scenes at the elevator 5 times or so, simply because she just missed out one single solitary word. Nice to know he treated all of his actors equally. But who cares? Shirley MacLaine was given an Oscar nomination, so it was for the best.
You're not being funny.
There's also a brief jab taken at Marilyn Monroe due to Billy Wilder's disliking of her from previous work, but Monroe did claim she wished she could have played the part of Fran in the film anyway, not seeming to take any offence to it. The set of the office, as impressive as it looks, actually isn't as big as it appears. They use the art of perception to trick the audience. As the room gets further in, they used smaller and smaller tables and people, even using children towards the end to give off the illusion. That's brilliant.
I like it that way.
The original title was Jealous Lover, inspired by the 1949 film The Romantic Age, before being changed to The Apartment, which was then released on June the 15th, 1960. With a budget of $3 million, the movie did earn double that, but critics were quite split. The film was gleeful, tender, and even sentimental. Wilder's direction is ingenious. Dwight MacDonald from Esquire slated it, calling it a paradigm of corny avant-gardism. Others hated the controversial depictions of adultery. Hollis Output from the Saturday Review called it a dirty fairy tale, and even the actor Fred MacMurray was given abuse in the streets whenever recognised. People lambasted him for making a dirty, filthy movie, and one of them even hit him with their purse. He also received a ridiculous amount of hate mail for portraying such a nasty character, so much so he vowed to never take on such a role again. You guys do know that movies aren't real, right?
You didn't really believe me, did you?
However, Roger Ebert put it on his great movies list with a full 4 stars, and it picked up 5 Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Art and Set Direction. The film had such an impact. Kevin Spacey... Are we allowed to talk about Kevin Spacey right now? I mean, I don't want this video to be demonetized.
You don't have to worry about that.
Kevin Spacey dedicated his Academy Award for American Beauty to Jack Lemmon's performance in this. It was the last black and white film to win Best Picture until The Artist in 2011. Yeah, Schindler's List doesn't count because some scenes were in colour, so nope, sorry, it doesn't count. Premiere listed it as one of the greatest comedies ever. Film 4 ranked it as the #1 film to see before you die, and the American Film Institute even picked it as the 93rd greatest movie in Hollywood history. However, some Soviet critics slammed the film, claiming its events could only happen in a capitalistic city like New York. When visiting Germany, Billy Wilder had an honorary ceremony dedicated to him, and he claimed it could happen anywhere. In Hong Kong, Tokyo, Rome, Paris, London. The one place it couldn't have happened is Moscow. Instantly, the German fans broke into applause until he continued, "The reason this picture could not have taken place in Moscow is because in Moscow, nobody has their own apartment." The crowd suddenly fell into a grim silence. Oops. But I have to say, not since Whiplash has a movie impacted me this much. I'm being dead serious. This is such a strong, moving, emotional film, and if you have not seen it, I urge you to do so ASAP. Please. The reason this film had such a huge impact on me, and I don't mean to turn this review serious and personal, but it's often a touchy subject whenever a film or TV show portrays women for taking a liking to bad boys instead of nicer men. I've been the subject of these incidents for many years, but I've also been used for sex, manipulated, lied to, cheated on, you name it. I've been in the situation where I've loved the wrong person uncontrollably and cried at night because they didn't reciprocate the feelings. They didn't want me, and I just couldn't understand what was wrong with me. This film does portray this, but it handles it delicately, realistically, in a very humane way, and has a very positive message at the end. Fran gives some honestly heartbreaking pieces of dialogue that, I won't lie, burst me into tears because I could relate. I knew everything this character was going through and I could feel her pain. I was going through this experience with her. She gives a truly incredible performance that should have won the Oscar, and almost every piece of dialogue tugs at your heartstrings.
Was he very upset when you told him?
Mr. Sheldrake? Yeah, very.
Maybe he does love me, only he doesn't have the nerve to tell his wife.
I'm sure that's the explanation.
You really think so?
No doubt about it.
I just can't get over the accuracy of this. I mean, it's so emotional, and it definitely won't be ruined by...
Can't I ever fall in love with somebody nice like you?
You just had to say it, didn't you? The one line that I hate. You just had to ruin it with that crap. Why, movie? Why? Baxter is also incredibly likeable. I mean, Fran no-shows a date with him, and the next time he sees her, he's still really nice.
Thank you. I thought you were avoiding me.
He's been avoiding you? You stood him up, you silly cow!
Well, as a matter of fact, I was rather hurt that night you stood me up.
I don't blame you. It was unforgivable.
Exactly!
Miss Kubelik, one doesn't get to be a second administrative assistant around here unless he's a pretty good judge of character. And as far as I'm concerned, you're tops. I mean, decency-wise.
So in the friend zone, dude. I mean, just look at him. Just look at his face. Friend zone, dude. Totally in the friend zone. Come on, you ain't getting any. You're in the friend zone. There's a heartbreaking scene where Fran has finally had enough and attempts an overdose. Now, it's never really specified whether or not she was intentionally trying to kill herself. They do question it sometimes, but a definitive answer is left to the audience. But Baxter takes care of her despite Jeff being the most evil douchebag in history. Even when Fran constantly says how much she loves Jeff, he still sticks by her.
Secondly, if you did something like that, you'd hate yourself.
I don't like myself very much anyway.
Right in the feels.
What's the matter?
The mirror, it's broken.
Yes, I know. I like it that way. Makes me look the way I feel.
Okay, I'm gone again.
I ought to be very angry with you scaring me that way. But let's forget the whole thing. Pretend it never happened. What do you say, Fran? Fran? there, Fran?
Of course I'm not here, because the whole thing never happened. I never took those pills. I never loved you. We never even met. Isn't that the way you want it, Jeff?
I don't even want to make any jokes about this. It's a horrible feeling, and sometimes you can't help who you love. I wouldn't wish this feeling on anybody. So honestly, in all seriousness, if anyone's going through this, believe me, there's a silver lining at the end, and I would highly recommend this movie. It has such a positive message at the end, and I think it will really help you. The overall message isn't forced, but it's delivered so well. Baxter gets all of these promotions and offers, but the one thing he wanted was Fran, so he's still miserable. It shows money and popularity isn't everything. Unless it's on YouTube, donate to my Patreon, get me a studio, get me out of my day job because I hate it, make YouTube my full-time job, help me get out of here!
Please?
Baxter just wants her to be happy, so he still presses for her to work things out with him. Just when he's about to reveal his feelings, Jeff announces that his marriage has ended and he's now with Fran, and Baxter just leaves him to it. He quits his job and is about to move out. It's intense, and the character is badass, but really, really likeable. Oh, and also downright hilarious.
Look, buddy boy, if there wasn't a lady present, I'd clobber you.
All right, Carl. I'll get dressed.
Want a martini?
He gets taken advantage of and just puts up with it. He's a doormat, letting everyone walk all over him, another trait I can perfectly relate to. The film checks off absolutely everything in my mind. And when he gets a promotion, he acts a bit arrogant towards Fran, thinking the power will get him some action, but it doesn't. She's really likeable too. These are very real characters who you grow to truly care for. They meet up again after she gets back with Jeff, and you can tell they're both unhappy and don't want to be apart. It's such a charming love story. The actors have tremendous chemistry, and it really does show the growth of their relationship over the course of the film. As I saw it, Baxter was ambitious, a nice guy but gullible, easily intimidated and fast to excuse his behaviour. In the end, he changes because he faces up to having rationalised his morals. He realises he's been a dumb kid, he's been had. I mean, he even tells the story of a previous suicide attempt and somehow makes it funny.
You're reading the papers all the time that people shoot themselves? Believe me, it's not that easy. I mean, how do you do it? Here? 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 You know where I finally shot myself?
Where?
Here.
In the knee?
While I was sitting there trying to make up my mind, a cop stuck his head in the car because I was illegally parked, and I tried to hide the gun under the seat, and it went off. Ow!
In fact, I should say, this film is a heartfelt story that tugs on your feelings, but it's also a side-splitting comedy. It goes from amazing laughs to intense drama so smoothly. Like, there's no effort between the shifts, but it works so well. Just the concept makes me laugh. People are making appointments to cheat on their wives in this random dude's apartment. That's hilarious. Even more so when his own boss looks like he's about to discipline him for it, only to then ask for it as well. The fact that apparently hotels just don't exist in this world is so funny to me. I mean, I guess this way keeps it more secret from their wives, but come on, this was the 60s. You could go anywhere, say your name was George Lopez and no one will bat an eye. And you know, I don't even think they pay him for this either. He just does it out of the kindness of his heart, no payment necessary. And I never thought you could find people this horrible so funny.
We went to bat for you, and now you won't play ball with us.
Well, after all, it's my apartment. It's private property. It's not a public playground.
All right, so you got yourself a girl. That's okay with us, but not every night in the week.
How selfish can you get?
In fact, I am kind of ashamed that I did laugh at this.
I'm going to take Miss Kubelik off your hands. Plain fact is, I love her. I haven't told her yet. I thought that you should be the first to know. After all, you don't really want her, and I do.
Rather sexist, but hey, bet you laughed. He's too embarrassed to tell anyone outside of work about these arrangements, so they all just assume he's a raging alcoholic who's always bedding different women every other day. Another thing I can relate to. Ash, Tanya, Charlotte, Maxine, Claire, Jasmine, Mandy, Katrina, Michaela, SJ, Chantel, Ashley! Wow, I'm a slut.
Mildred! He's at it again!
They do this really funny gag where Baxter keeps flicking through the channels, but the exact same advert keeps playing. It's funny, and hey, decades later, still accurate. Though more on YouTube now than TV. The set at the office looks great, and the musical score is fantastic, set in rhythm where he types on his typewriter, for example. It's directorial genius and edited together perfectly. There's also a lot of subtle moments. Baxter realises that Fran and Jeff are getting it on when he spots a broken mirror from his place. He then talks to her about the boss. She doesn't realise he knows, but we do, so it's even more heartbreaking to watch. There's also a part where he removes blades from a razor to prevent further suicide attempts. It's really well done stuff. There's a long sequence where the Doctor tries to revive Fran, but the length isn't really an issue. It's spaced very well, and paramedics were actually on the set to ensure it was as realistic as possible. The slaps to her face were genuine, though they said they should have been much harder, but the director refused to let Shirley MacLaine do any more takes after her face became bright red. But what didn't I like? Well, for once, this is the part that I really don't want to do.
Like what?
Why does Baxter leave a note about the complaining neighbours on the record player? Wouldn't the bed make more sense? I mean, why the hell would they go to the record player first?
I have a report here from Mr. Doby. Says you're loyal, cooperative, resourceful.
Mr. Doby said that.
And Mr. Kirkaby tells me that several nights a week you work late at the office without overtime.
You know how it is. Things pile up.
Mr. Vanderhoff in public relations and Mr. Eichelberger in mortgage and loan. They both would like to have you transferred to their departments.
Very flattering.
Tell me, Baxter, just what is it that makes you so popular?
You literally just said he works loads of overtime unpaid. Why would anyone not want someone like that working with them? Of course he's going to be popular. Stupid question.
I thought maybe we'd get a bite to eat first, and then we go.
Oh, you mean tonight?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm meeting somebody.
Your boss. It's so obviously going to be your boss. There's like no mystery here, no suspense. She's going to pork your boss, mate. In your bed.
How do you know where I live?
Oh, why, you know who you live with. Sister, brother-in-law. And I know when you were born and where. I know all sorts of things about you.
How come?
Oh, a couple of months ago, I looked up your card in the group insurance file. I know your height, said your weight, and your social security number.
What the hell is up with these classic films having creepy stalker protagonists and the women finding them charming? Larry from the Wolfman spies on women undressing with a telescope. Anakin has strands of Padme's pubic hair lying about. Hal from Snow Day, yeah, I consider that a classic. Hal from Snow Day has a Claire clone somewhere. And then there's this guy. He knows her height, her blood type, the amount of pubic lice she has. What is wrong with these films? Oh, look, she's dating his boss. Nobody was surprised.
So you don't have to play innocent with me. He used to tell his wife I was the branch manager from Seattle 4 years ago, and we were having a little ring-a-ding-ding.
Oh, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Just before me, there was Miss Rossi in auditing, and after me, there was Miss Koch in disability, and right before you was a Miss, what's her name, on the 25th floor.
Would you excuse me?
What for? You haven't done anything. It's him. Oh, what a salesman.
She's bragging that her and a lot of other women are sleeping with the same married man. Yay, we're whores. Well, that's just the last straw. Yeah? Yeah?
Let's get her walking. We got to keep her awake for the next few hours.
Well, don't show her Fantasia then.
Oh, my head. It feels just like a big wad of chewing gum.
What the hell does that even mean? It's been chewed up and swirled around with saliva.
So there's the victim. Max to knife.
What the hell did she just say?
Max to knife.
Max to knife?
Max to knife.
Back to life?
Max to knife.
Baxter wife?
Max to knife.
Baxter knife?
Max to knife.
Max to wife?
Max to knife.
What?
The doctor said it takes 48 hours to get that stuff out of your system.
I wonder how long it takes to get someone you're stuck on out of your system.
My experience? 6 months. So Fran's brother-in-law shows up, angry at Baxter for what it looks like, but why? They acknowledge she's a grown woman. Why is this such an issue? I mean, I'd understand if she was underage or if he knew Baxter was a douchebag or something, but he has no reason to be this angry. The editing here is really sloppy as well, which is then combined with some awfully cliched lines.
Oh, you fool. You damn fool.
Ah, you were doing so well, movie.
Mr. Sheldrake, those 2 days she spent in the apartment have made me realize how lonely I'd been before. Thanks to you, I'm in a financial position to marry her.
After 2 days together. Regardless, the love has developed extremely well, and I like that it's never actually established if they do get together or not. Not concretely anyway, they are just flat out adorable together, and I will simply end this masterpiece by showing one of the cutest reconciliation moments in film history to close out this classic picture.
What about Mr. Sheldrake?
I'm gonna send him a fruitcake every Christmas. Cut.
I love you, Miss Kubelik.
3. Queen.
Did you hear what I said, Miss Kubelik? I absolutely adore you.
Shut up and deal.
And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, I'm reviewing every film in the 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die 2016 edition book, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with them and also turn on notifications to be alerted for each episode. You can vote for which film to be reviewed next, so the link in the description. What do you think of The Apartment? Let me know about it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. That outro bit I usually read off the script, I forgot to put it in this script, so I've now got it memorised. I need a life.